We were looking for a flat to buy in Crouch End or Muswell Hill, so that we could live in it eventually, but in the meantime we could let it out. We came across one that had been advertised by Martin Gerard. We'd not met them before, but they were helpful in helping us to see it and helping us to understand what it was about. They gave us all the information we needed. As we started, once we made the offer, they helped us to get the right offer in. I think they did an excellent job for their vendor, but they also made the deal happen, if you like, because there's always a lot of complications between, making an offer, having the offer accepted, and then actually completing the deal. But they were very supportive, I think, of both sides in making that work. As we started to approach completion, we were approached by Martin Gerard's rental side, which we hadn't really considered, hadn't really thought about that part yet. And they helped us to understand some of the issues around renting in this area, because they know the area very well, the kind of people that would want to rent it, the kind of rent we were likely to get, the kind of work we should do to it in order to make it attractive to those sorts of people. And so we did a bit of shopping about. We kept coming back to Martin Gerard largely because, they had been helpful so far. They were decent people. They seemed to know the area very well. Very enthusiastic about anything within walking distance of the clock tower in Crouch End, because, they knew that they could let that quite readily, I think. So that was encouraging. The fact they knew the kind of people that were going to come here. But then they offered the rental guarantee as well, which I don't know if you know how that works, but it's an insurance scheme essentially. And then on top of that, they were flexible on their rate because we'd obviously bought it through them, so it made a fee there. So they recognised that in negotiations around the rent, the rate that they would charge for finding us a tenant. So that was all very helpful. So we did the deal with them. Then in the upshot, they showed it to, a dozen people, say, on one day. The following day, we had two offers, one of which were accepted. One can ask no more of a letting agent than that, I suspect. So they're obviously a team that's established in that office. They know the area very well. They know the kind of tenants, as I say, who you're likely to get. You can mention a property or a street and they'll know it, and they've probably had something to do with it at some point. And I find all that very encouraging. It's not just generic advice you're getting; it's really quite specific and tailored. The team seems very stable, and that's not something we found in other agents in the area. The costs were, explained, controlled. They seem to be reasonably flexible. Obviously, very confident in what they're charging, but it was discussable. They weren't the most expensive to start with, which is helpful. So I think those are the key features really. They know their way around, and they're not overpriced.